Imagine this. You're standing completely alone on the Giza plateau at night. A cold desert wind throws sand against your face. Right in front of you rise 3 gigantic shadows that are older than any written history of mankind. The moonlight touches their edges so perfectly that it feels like the pyramids are actually breathing. You hear nothing but your own heartbeat. And at that exact moment, one question burns inside your head. The same question that has haunted millions of people for thousands of years. Who the hell really built these things? 100,000 slaves whipped until they bled? Aliens with advanced technology? Or ordinary Egyptians who were much smarter than we ever imagined? Hold on tight, because everything you're about to hear will completely turn upside down what you thought you knew about the pyramids. I'm not here to give you dry schoolbook facts. I'm taking you on a thrilling journey through the hottest discoveries of 2025 and 2026, showing you the real people who dragged these multi-ton stones, and revealing what the legendary Egyptologist Zahi Hawass has promised to show the world this year. Ready? Let's dive in. And trust me, stay until the very end. There's a revelation coming that will leave you speechless. Let's start by destroying the biggest myth that everyone grows up believing. Hollywood movies, school textbooks, and even ancient Greek writers all tell the same dramatic story. The pyramids were built by slaves. Thousands of exhausted men suffering under the burning sun, lashed by cruel overseers. Blood, sweat, tears, and endless pain. The classic heartbreaking tale. But in 2025, a team of Egyptologists led by Zahi Hawass himself put a final nail in that coffin. They discovered new inscriptions deep inside the Great Pyramid of Khufu, right above the king's chamber. Clear team names were carved there. Friends of Khufu, drunkards of Menkaura, white bulls. These were not miserable slaves. These people were proud of what they were building. They left graffiti the same way modern construction workers tag a new skyscraper. And it gets even more surprising. Archaeologists have uncovered entire worker villages right next to the pyramids. There were bakeries, breweries, hospitals, and large public dining areas. The workers ate the best beef available in Egypt. They received wages, medical treatment, and even regular days off. 1 day of rest for every 10 days of work. These were not slaves. They were the best specialists in the entire country. Master stonemasons, engineers, and carpenters, plus tens of thousands of ordinary farmers who came during the annual Nile flood when their fields were underwater anyway. It was a true national project, like a modern construction of the century. Picture an ordinary man named Merer. His personal diary was discovered years ago, and new fragments were decoded recently. He was a team supervisor who carefully recorded every detail. How they transported limestone blocks from Tura across the Nile, almost 900 kilometers away. Every day he noted how many blocks were moved, how many men worked, and how much beer was given out. He was basically an ancient project manager doing daily reports. And these regular guys, in only 20 to 27 years, moved 2.3 million stone blocks. Some of them weighed between 2.5 tons and 80 tons each. They did it with millimeter precision, without cranes, without computers, only with ropes, levers, and incredible organization. But how exactly did they lift these enormous stones? This is where the story becomes truly exciting. The old theory everyone learned in school talked about long external dirt ramps. However, in 2025, a bold new theory from engineer Simon Schuring shook the entire field. He proposed an internal pulley-like system using counterweights. Imagine this. While the pyramid was still under construction, special sloping corridors existed inside it. Huge granite counterweights slid down these slopes, and that downward force was transferred through ropes and wooden mechanisms to pull the heavy blocks upward. The pyramid essentially grew from the inside out. This perfectly explains the slight concavity on the faces and the mysterious central grooves that look like traces of those rails. This theory also explains why the construction went so incredibly fast, sometimes placing 1 block per minute during peak periods, and why there are so many strange internal passages that used to be labeled simply as mysterious. For the very first step pyramid of Djoser, the one that started the entire pyramid building era, researchers in 2024 to 2025 found strong evidence of advanced hydraulics. Water under pressure was used to lift blocks inside the structure, like an ancient elevator. The Egyptians already possessed technology 4,700 years ago that we used to attribute only to the Industrial Revolution. Now, let's talk about the most mysterious guardian standing next to the pyramids, the Great Sphinx, a colossal lion with a human head, 73 meters long and 20 meters high, carved from one single massive rock. Officially, it is considered about 4,500 years old and said to represent Pharaoh Khafra. But geologists have been challenging this date for decades. The body and the walls surrounding the Sphinx show clear signs of water erosion, deep vertical grooves that can only be created by heavy rainfall. Yet the Egyptian desert has not experienced that kind of climate for more than 10,000 years. The last wet period was at the end of the last ice age. Some geologists, including Robert Schoch, argue that the Sphinx could be 7,000 to 12,000 years older than the official date. Its head also looks strangely small compared to the massive body, as if it was recarved later, after the pyramids were already built. Picture this possibility. Maybe the Sphinx was already standing there when the Sahara was still green savannas full of lakes. The early Egyptians simply updated its head to match their pharaoh. The debate continues fiercely. Every new scientific analysis only adds more fuel to the fire. And now, we come to the most exciting part. What is happening right now in 2025 and 2026. The legendary Egyptologist Zahi Hawass has been teasing the world for months with one sentence. In 2026, we will announce a discovery that will rewrite history. What exactly did they find? Using the latest scanners and small robots, researchers discovered a brand new corridor almost 30 meters long inside the Great Pyramid. It starts near the main entrance area and ends at a sealed stone door. The robots have already reached it, cleaned the passage, and so far, the team is staying completely silent. Hawass has strongly hinted that something extremely important lies behind that door. Perhaps the real burial chamber of Khufu that has never been found before. Or something we cannot even imagine yet. At the same time, radar scans revealed strange voids beneath the pyramids, and even giant column-like structures under the Pyramid of Khafra. Some people are already whispering about underground cities, although official science remains cautious. The whole world is waiting for the big announcement in 2026. And this is only the beginning. New hidden spaces have been detected behind the faces of several pyramids. Every single year, the scanners reveal things we once thought were impossible. So who really built these incredible monuments? Not slaves, not aliens, not lost civilizations from Atlantis. Ordinary Egyptians. Thousands of intelligent, highly organized people who truly believed in their sacred mission. They created the largest and most precise stone structure in the entire history of humanity. Without any modern technology, only with their brains, strong faith, and unbelievable discipline. But here's the coolest part. The pyramids still haven't revealed all their secrets. They have stood silent for almost 5,000 years. And every time humanity thinks we have finally figured them out, they throw us another mystery. Maybe in 2026, we will finally get real answers. Or maybe the pyramids will simply smile and whisper, "You haven't even started to understand us yet." Right now, you are standing there on the Giza plateau, looking up at those ancient shadows. And now, you know the truth. These are not just piles of stone. They are our story. A story written by ordinary people who wanted to become eternal